Hi credit friends, this is Soraya and thank you so much for being here. So before I dive into my video today, I just wanted to address a comment or a question, and somebody was asking if I could make my videos longer, and I just wanted to mention that I'm really sorry, but I cannot make my videos longer just because of the way I work. Like sometimes I need to either leave something alone or I need to allow things to dry. But what I've been doing is that if a video is, what I feel to be a kind of shorter length, and I think that there are people following along because it's like part of a series, I've been trying to post them twice a day, and that way it's just easier if somebody is kind of, doing their own thing and they don't have to wait until the next day to watch part 2. So let me know if that works. But let's just dive right into this video. So a few months ago, I started making these mini collage pieces, and it was for the sole purpose of learning. Like, I wanted to strengthen my knowledge and use of values, so I set the intention of using a very limited color palette. But present day, I'm realizing a fundamental truth, and it is this: follow your excitement. Listen to those whispers, your gut feeling, your intuition, the things that make you excited, joyful, playful. Follow that. You will never go wrong. So it may seem like a waste of time to make all these collage pieces to somebody just looking in, because I got seriously addicted and I went down the rabbit hole and I just could not stop making them. So I started off with a limited color palette, but then I even started exploring, say, the blue-orange complementary color palette. And like, I really love some of these, just absolutely stunning, beautiful pieces that I can just look at these forever. Anyways, I'm sorry, I got off topic there. But what I want to say is that, if it is playful and invokes a sense of curiosity in you, if it's exciting and challenging and you're just like, hey, I just really want to do this, then follow that, because I had no idea when I made these collages that it was going to transform into the way I'm using them over here. So this is where I left off in this spread, and I was using this particular collage piece for the kind of the seeds of inspiration for this piece. Now, as you can see, it's not 100%. Like, there's the tiniest bit of yellow over here. I don't even know if the camera can pick up on it. It's just a little smidge of it, and I think it actually happened by accident. And so there is yellow over here, but as you can see, it's like, it's quite a bit of yellow, a large color field. So I'm not trying to replicate things exactly. I'm just using it as a jumping off point, a seed of inspiration. So I'm going to get back to this, but I just wanted to show you a few other spreads, and this is not completely done, but I used this collage piece to inspire this piece over here. So I'm going to show you this, and then I'm going to show you this over here. And it's not done, but you can see that there are a lot of similarities. Like, the lines over here, the lines over here, the lines over here on the composition notebook, the lines over here, like, the little bit of the peach color and over here. So I'm not trying to copy it, like, exactly. And like I mentioned in another video, when, this is a very small piece right here, the measurements are fairly small. So if I had to replicate this exactly in terms of the color palette and the proportion, it's not really going to have the same punch that it is for this spread, because you're working on a larger surface over here. So, I'm really loving the way that turned out. Like, I love that kind of subdued, kind of gringy, like ancient. It has a very like ancient feel to me. And now what I started doing, and this is like super exciting to me, and this is not done either, but I pulled out 2 different pieces. And what I did is I'm combining aspects of the 2 pieces onto one spread. And so what I did is I went through my collage here, and I just, like a puzzle piece, I you know, I went like so, you know, and I didn't like that. There wasn't enough of a contrast. See how that just, that's kind of blah, you know, that's just like, ugh. And I like the blue over there. So I just, you know, pulled out different pieces and I put them together like a puzzle piece. And really, you guys, there's an infinite amount of ways you can use these collage pieces, because you can combine like 3 pieces. You can I can cut off, you know, the top piece and then, you know, superimpose it onto another piece of collage. Like, there's just really no limit to it, and it's such a great tool, and I'm even learning more and more ways to use it. But I'm just going to point out here, so what I did is, this is a piece of line composition notebook, and then I use my Stabilo, and do you see how, like, I replicated this piece almost identically, and it's not done, but see, I just want to show you the pieces. I tried to replicate it, like, you know, and then say, you know, this blue piece over here, I put the blue over there, and over here, that is cardboard, and I cut out a piece here for the sun, and I colored it, you know, this red over here with the black edges. I put the dictionary page over here. I mean, I'm using aspects of the pieces that I really love, and I'm combining them. And this is like such an interesting and exciting way to work, and it's really limitless. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm just probably gonna put that back there so I don't lose it, because like I said, these pages are not done. And what I'm gonna do is, I'm just gonna continue working on this piece, using this as my jumping off point, my inspiration. So I really am loving this over here. I think I want to bring in some whites, because like, see over here, there are some white pieces. Now it's going to be very difficult for me to kind of, like, I have to figure out, okay, how am I going to use the whites? And I think what I'm going to do is just use a lined composition notebook, because this piece of paper here is actually a cheap line composition notebook. So I might just kind of go for that. And while I'm doing that, I'm also building up layers and texture, a sense of history, story, etc. So it kind of works out really well. And I'm just going to bring in maybe 3 pieces of white. So kind of like that. And the great thing about the Stabilo is it goes into anything. Like, literally, it says on the pencil that it will go on glass. I have not tried that, but I am assuming it does. So that's pretty amazing and awesome. And I've used it right into my oil sticks, you guys. Now, I do really love how there's some of the blue Stabilo here, but on this side there's black Stabilo, so I'm gonna replicate it. So do you see how, like, you can replicate things exactly, or you can just, you know, use it as inspiration? Like, there are no rules. Like, you can make the rules up, and you can change the rules, and you can break them and modify them, add to them, subtract, you know, them. So you can just do whatever you want to do, basically, and it just gives you the freedom. And one of the great things about making these collage pieces is I'm not being distracted by figures. Like, I am simply breaking things down to the bare bone elements of it, like the color, the line, the texture, the composition, and I'm not being distracted by the figures. So that really helps me to strengthen my visual language, my values, I mean, my color, just everything really, you guys. Because what you're doing is you're just focusing on the architecture of things. You're not really concerned about, oh, you know, the face and this and that and whatever. So now there are some dots over here with the Stabilo. I don't know if the camera can pick up on that. They're kind of like faded, but I'm gonna put it on the bottom, I think. So this is what I mean. You can replicate things exactly, or you can just, you know, just use it as a little bit of a seed of inspiration and say, hey, I'm gonna just do it in a little bit of a different way. And it's really strange, you guys, but when I started making these collage pieces, I had not even started on this journal that I'm working on present day, but it is just perfect for what I'm doing with this journal. Like, it's so amazing how it all just kind of fell into place. Like, I am pleased to no end about that. Lines over here. So I am loving this situation a lot more than I you know, than when there was like the blue and yellow. I was not digging that at all. I did not like that. But I'm really loving this over here. Like, I love this piece here. It's kind of like a centerpiece. So I'm still, you know, gonna build up on my faces. I don't know if I want to put like facial features. I don't want to put facial features on this figure, and there's a distinct reason for that. That ties into the way I'm working with this particular journal, but I think I might want to do that, put facial features for these two figures here. So I am going to allow this to completely dry, and I don't know if I'm going to do another part to this, but I will show you how it turns out when the spread is done. And another thing that I'm working on that has been kind of like led by these collage pieces, like the seeds of inspiration, is I'm really learning to look at collage elements in a different way. So I'm just going to show you over here. Like, see, this is a sun, but I'm not cutting out the entire piece from the cardboard. Like, I'm combining 3 different pieces. Now it's still gonna read as a sun and as a circle, but I just love the interest and just the dimension, just the beauty that the 3 different pieces kind of coming together. And it's just a new way for me to tell my stories. So that's another element that I am exploring in this particular journal, and it directly came from these collage pieces. Anyways, you guys, if you've watched all the way to the end, thank you so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.